What's up, all you motorcycle enthusiasts, and welcome to the V-Twin Life here on YouTube. We talk motorcycles powered by those V-Twins, what fuels their passion, why you enjoy it so much. V-Twin Life is brought to you by these two great companies, Crash Inc. Clothing and Wild Ass Seats. Hey, you want to add some comfort to your ass when you're out riding, whether you're a 400-mile guy or maybe a guy that's pushing 1,000 plus, or female rider for that matter? Hey, check out wild-ass.com and add some comfort to your ass. Can't forget Crash Inc. Clothing, that Northwest brand out of the Pacific Northwest. Hey, these guys got a lot of great stuff, from t-shirts to hats, raincoats, you name it. Hey, they can get you covered. Check out crashinclothing.com. Now, let's dive into another milepost of the V-Twin Life. Hey, what's up, everyone? Hey, thanks for coming in on Sunday night, tuning into another milepost of the V-Twin Life. We're hitting milepost 81 tonight with one of these Northwest guys out of Oregon, Mr. Ridefaterpuss.y. Jason, hey, thanks for coming on and coming and hanging out tonight.
Fuck yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, I know we've been trying to get this for a little while, and you know, you guys got some killer stuff going on. You doing down in Oregon the whole 503 bike night, and seeing you guys really done a lot of cool shit and grown, and it's awesome to see that kind of stuff, you know, in the Northwest, and building stuff up, and be awesome to get some more of you guys on there. But you know, tonight we got you coming to hang out and kind of hear your backstory and talk some bikes and shoot the shit.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah. Well, let's start where I'd like to do with everybody, man. Where'd motorcycles come into life for you?
So I grew up in a biker house. You know, my dad was a biker. He built choppers. My mom built a chopper in our living room. And so I was first introduced to bikes like super young. But, you know, I rode BMX and didn't really give a shit about motorcycles. I was like, yeah, whatever. You know, as a kid, like, you don't really give a shit what your parents are doing for the most part. Like, you're just kind of doing your own thing. And I actually didn't get my first bike until I think I was like 19. Got a dirt bike and started ripping around in the trails on that. And then switched it over to a street bike and got on the road and had a 2003 F4i. And I hung out with some stunt riders back then. And this was, I'm 43 now, so this was 23 years ago. And started to wheelie a little bit, you know, just kind of try to learn from them, you know what I mean? And rode those for, you know, until about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, not 4 years ago. And then finally bought a Harley and never went back to the crotch rockets.
I think a lot of people, you know, everybody starts somewhere where, I mean, I had, you know, the sport bike for a little while, and then kind of was looking, you know, getting a little too crazy. It's like, when you got a family, it's like, man, bike's got to go. And, you know, got into the cruiser scene. It's like, man, this is just so much more comfortable. And for me, it's like, I enjoy traveling and wanting to ride. And it's like, you know, a sport bike isn't kind of going to fit when you want to do some touring riding. And, you know, hit the cruisers. In fact, I never look back. I mean, you know, changed up from a few, but it's just, it's a fun lifestyle.
Yeah. And, you know, I've done a lot of fucking miles on crotch rockets, but you're right. It's very uncomfortable. And I don't know. I was kind of sick of my wrists hurting.
Understandable. So what was the first Harley you got?
2018 Lowrider. Went and picked it up brand new and started customizing it. And I had that for a year. And then everyone's like, oh, man, you need to go try back or go get a fucking touring bike. And I'm like, man, fuck that. Those are old people bikes, bro. Like, you know, I'm getting old, but I'm not trying to be old. You know what I mean? And so I was fucking off at work one day and went and test rode the roadglide that I have now, the 2019 special, and fell in love with it within the first 10 minutes. And I was like, yeah, we're making this deal. Done. It's done. And, you know, dicked around trying to get a good deal on that and finally did. And now she's here.
So what all have you done to your road bikes? I know I mean, obviously done some shit to it for all the, you know, the stunt riding and shit you enjoy doing, you know, all the pictures I've seen and whatnot.
Yeah. So far, right now it's torn down to the frame. I'm doing a pretty interesting build, you could say. But as far as parts, you know, until this recent teardown, just tune, intake, exhaust, bars, Cruzy original ATV bars, best fucking bars out there. They're my favorite setup. That they're narrow and they have the right pullback and everything's just, I don't know, I fucking love them. But yeah, not really any performance shit though. It's a relatively stock bike. I did do a chain drive finally. It wasn't necessary, but my belt broke doing wheelies eventually because my
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right. Those AirPods took a shit on me.
The battery life in those things suck anymore. Mine don't last for shit. I don't ever hardly use them.
Yeah, fucking garbage.
I went to the Samsung Galaxy Buds, and fuck, those batteries last forever.
Yeah, I've been looking at some different AirPod style ones or AirBud style ones, away from the Apple shit. Where was I at?
Chain drive, swap that out.
Oh, I finally did a chain drive because my belt broke doing wheelies. Said fuck it, I gotta tear it apart anyways. Let's go with chain drive, and I bought a A1 Cycles Cush drive chain drive setup, and those come with aluminum sprockets, and I chewed through that fucking thing like instantly. So I was like, fuck, man, there wasn't a steel option. So I said, fuck, I guess I'm gonna have to fucking make my own. And I called my buddy Nubworks, who's doing all my hard parts now, the future of RFP, and he made me a custom sprocket, 56 tooth, and I threw that on there, and she pops up a hell of a lot easier now.
So is that kind of how your new little entrepreneur-ish business going? The hard parts came from needing a sprocket that actually hold up?
It did, yeah. I like creating things. I own multiple businesses, and it was just kind of like, man, let's dip into here too. You know what I mean? And it helps me get that creative side out into a piece of metal instead of just on t-shirts and paper.
Right. Which is cool.
Yeah. I think it's sweet, and the feedback has been fucking awesome. The support that I get from my inner circle and everyone that supports the brand is fucking amazing. All of you are fucking badass, by the way. So yeah, I try to make shit that people dig, and if it wasn't for everyone, I wouldn't be doing it.
Well, it's like I was talking to one of the brothers down there, and going with your Ride Faster Pussy logo, and it's like, dude, he lives by that. It's like, he goes, they kind of said, ask you about getting nailed for 80 plus and a 25, just ride faster.
Yeah. With the brand being what it's called, I'm still very, I do like safety. I don't like people getting hurt. I want everyone to ride their own ride. You do get better by pushing yourself and riding with people that are faster than you. That's how I became a better rider. But, you got to know your limits. Don't try to fucking show off and, squid out.
100%.
And we've been in those situations in group rides and shit. And, I don't care to ride, and I don't care to lead packs anymore. I don't care to ride with a bunch of people I don't know. I do support like the stunt rides, like the homies in the Hive Crew in Utah, and just did the Grip Street one down in Las Vegas. And those guys know what they're doing, though. They're not weekend riders that are just out there to show off or something. They're they do this shit every day, and they know what they're doing. So I'm comfortable riding in those kind of groups, and you got to keep your head on a swivel.
You do, and you look at some of the stunt rider. I mean, of course, there's always they're having fun on the road, but you also got to look. Sometimes a lot of that is also I would say pictures, whatnot. Guys doing some stuff on a closed course where you're not putting yourself in harm's way of other cars. I mean, guys do like to have fun and just pop it up here and there on the road, but it is that's back to doing these shows where you're on a closed area where safety is a little bit more.
You're not practicing on a fucking group ride that you've already, these guys know what they're doing already. You know what I mean? It's not like they're trying new shit in the middle of a group or anything like that.
Right.
And you run into that, doing group rides, you'll have these people that try to, show off and squid out and then, fuck other people up, and that shit's pretty whack if you ask me.
Yeah, you got to know your own limits, and I think, with that, I mean, I'm not into stunt riding. I mean, I did, wheeler stuff, motocross stuff back in the day, but you got to, like you said, you got to know your limits, and you do want to challenge yourself because you get yourself better over slowly, but, when you're riding to somebody maybe it's done it 10 or 20 years and you're back there 5 years into it, you're not going to be at their level, and, you got to be safe, I guess.
Know your fucking place.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Know your fucking place.
Yeah.
Stay in your fucking lane.
Well, how'd the whole, Ride Faster Pussy logo come around? How long you been doing that one?
It was either late 19 or early 20. Kind of when COVID started really kicking off, and it was kind of like a joke at first. Made some stickers, and then I was like, "Fuck, we'll make some fucking t-shirts." And I was flipping them out of the bags at Four Corners Rally in 2020, just slinging them out of the bags, and I'd sell some shit on like IG just through DMs and stuff at first. I had some like one of those companies that like print all your stuff and they never come to you. It's drop shipment.
Right, like Teespring and whatnot.
Just to help get you don't make any money on it, but it helps, push the brand, however you can. And, I didn't have a ton of followers on Instagram. I still don't, but it was a grind back then, but it was just kind of one of those things like it's bold, it's in your face, and people were digging it. And I was like, shit, man, let's fucking do more of this. You know what I mean? Let's see what I can make out of this.
And just went from there.
Just went from there. Just been grinding. No, I'm trying to, it's a fucking grind, man. And I got a lot of fucking dope ass people that support me, I'm super thankful for that. You know what I mean? That it helps.
100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, some guys you can lean back, like saying for support, or when you're down and out, or even to get even talked up or whatnot, and just to support and to help through the people within the community that we all are a big part of within the motorcycle community. And I know through like talking to Brad and Clayton and some of the other guys down there, I mean, you guys, the scene down there, you guys are a pretty tight group of guys and whatnot, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's just it's a fucking badass community, and we try to keep it going, and it's fun. Sometimes we get burnt out on it, sometimes one or two of us will take a step back and get a little breath in, and then come right back in ready and energized, and get right back in the shit.
Yeah, and sometimes you need that, clear your head. You can only, pound it so long before you're going to get, mental drain, and, step away for a little bit, refresh yourself, and come back with new ideas and, new adventures or whatever you can throw into it.
Yeah, and a lot of us are family, family people with kids and shit and responsibilities and jobs, and, we do what we can outside of, the responsibilities of life and family and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm someone that has a hard time balancing things in life. 2020, my family didn't see a lot of me. I was on the road a lot and just grinding and fucking off. And, my wife and I had a conversation, and she's like, "Hey, motherfucker, don't forget about us." And I was like, You're right. Thank you for telling me that. But it's also work. It's work now, I can't push this brand from a fucking chair. I can try, but I live this shit. You know what I mean? It's not like I didn't just create something and I don't fully, 1000% believe in it and live it. I mean, this brand represents me. It represents my friends. It represents, all of the people that support it. Like, we live this shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it takes that time when you're living that kind of lifestyle. Like, you're putting in the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to put forth the effort to get the reward.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I get it. So you still have the lowrider also you ride, or just your road
No,
glide?
I traded it in, and then I've got a couple projects that Brad keeps safe for me. I eat up a lot of his real estate in his shop with my bullshit. But like I bought actually the first Harley I bought, I rode it once, but I don't really say that that's the first Harley I bought because I didn't really ride it. I bought it to like make a chopper out of it. It was it's a 72 Ironhead. And back then I didn't know, I didn't know shit about Ironheads. I was just like, oh fuck, dude, I can get this bike for cheap and, build a chopper out of it. And I never did. And I'm almost kind of thankful I didn't because the more and more I learn about Ironheads and people that have had them, they're fucking piles of shit. So it's still sitting at Brad's place. It's a complete bike, but it needs some things done to it. I'm probably gonna sell it because I don't really care about it. And then I bought. I thought, well, shit. I'm pretty ADD, so I'm kind of all over the place in life. It's a blessing and a curse. So then I was like, fuck. When I first met Brad and Adam and Clayton and all these boys, like circle track racing was a big. Everyone was going to Salem to the dirt track, and it was kind of where we'd meet up and hang out and shit. And I was like, well, fuck, dude, I'm gonna build a fucking race bike, dude, and start this shit. So I bought a bike. My buddy Sean sold me a bike for real fucking cheap, and I was like, all right. So Brad and I started building this thing, and we got like, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way done. And then I saw Brad crash a couple of times, or I saw him crash once real good. And I was like, man, you know what? If I fucking crash and I hurt myself like that, like really fucking hurt myself, my family's going to be fucked. Like they rely on me. Like I'm the source of income. I can't be fucking around like that.
We don't heal as quick as we did when we were younger.
No, and I'm not using it as an excuse, but it is. It's like,
well, I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just, at our age, and it takes a little bit longer to snap back from even, some of the simple little laydowns. It's not, not like when we were teenagers and 20 where you kind of bounce back in a day or two.
Yeah, it fucking longer. Hurts, and it's it's a big recovery. That will probably always hinder me from being an excellent rider compared to like an intermediate rider. But I have fun doing what I do now, and I've crashed and I've fucked myself up doing stunts. And is it safer than the dirt track? Fucking probably not, but I feel more comfortable doing it. So
see, I think flat track, and I think that's probably the only that, and I guess trials riding, when it came to dirt bikes and riding on the dirt, the only two that I never fucked with. My stepdad used to do a bunch of old flat tracking back in the day, but that's the one I never tried. It's cool as shit to watch. I mean, those guys, fuck, it's impressive, but I never tried that one. I mean, I did sand drags, dirt drags, hill climbs, motocross, and I think hill climb was the best, man. That's an adrenaline rush from hell.
Yeah, I've never really done any hill climbing. I've done a lot of trail riding. I mean, the majority of my time on a dirt bike's on the trails. I mean, being from the Northwest, everywhere to ride.
Yep.
And but I've never hit an MX track. I've never done it. I've had opportunities and just had shit going on, so I was like, whatever, fuck it, and then just never did it. I
did that in my early teenage years.
Yeah, you're a little bit more limber when you're young, and I think a lot of the good riders, they've been riding since they were young. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But will I ever get on there? Fuck, who knows? Life's long sometimes, and I never know what the fuck I'm gonna get into.
It's like I said, trail ride. I mean, that's some fun shit because I mean, there's like up here trails you can hit on, and you can take fucking back trails and go damn near halfway down Hood Canal from Port Angeles and never touch the asphalt.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got to just worry about fuel, but all the trail networks and whatnot, it's a lot of fun. You can find some cool shit, some good vantage points, and some amazing views of the straights and whatnot. And yeah, trail riding is a fucking blast. I used to have a Yamaha TT500 white brother suspension on it. Fuck, that's one dirt bike I wish I still had. That thing was a blast when it came to trails, and still nimble enough you could throw it around, but you can, had enough oomph in that old thumper with a 500 that Man, it gets you places. You can have some fun.
Fuck yeah, absolutely. I still fuck around. I got a 2002 KX250. I've just always been into two strokes. I like how chaotic they are. And it's been a while since I've taken it out, but I've got it still, and I'll take it out eventually.
I used to be my hill climb bike. I had a CR500, board 60 over, shaved the head, shaved the barrel, run no head gaskets for higher compression, and stretch swing arm, fucking running rubber paddles, and I had a cut knobby, and you run different classes. The 500 modified, you could run a cut tire. 500 open X exhibition was paddle, steel, whatever you want to run, chains, and steel will get you over anything. You wouldn't be as fast, but you get a rubber cup, and man, you pin that fucker wide open, second gear, dump the clutch, and fucking hang on.
Fuck yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
I even took that down. I took the extensions off it for hill climbing, and was it 96? I went down and did the Lake Elsinore Grand Prix down in Lake Elsinore, and that's a lot of bike to try to ride stock. Fuck, that's not easy. But it was cool, got to meet some amazing fucking people, guys that were icons back in the day, and it was a cool experience.
Yeah, that's fucking rad.
The only Grand Prix I ever did. But we went all over riding down there. I went down with a good friend of mine that lived down in Riverside. That's where he grew up, so we went all over down there. Went to Paris Raceway, did, Glamis, Dumont Dunes, went to Pismo. Went out to the high desert in Victorville, and that was cool as shit riding out there.
Really?
It was just awesome.
Yeah, I like off-road because it puts me in nature, and I'm big into being in nature. I fucking love wildlife. I love all the fucking trees or the fucking desert or whatever. Like, just being outside of the city is fucking dope to me because it's a nice little reset, when you go out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like chaotic when you're on your bike, but it's also peaceful at the same time.
Right. And I can remember the first hill climb I went to when they started the hill climbs over in Yakima. It's out in Rattlesnake Hills. I'm like, they got all the sagebrush, whatnot. They're kind of making a path, but I'm like, well, fuck, it's just a bush. I'll just fucking run that fucker over. I'm not worried about it. I had a line in my head. Shit, yeah. I hit that sagebrush, and whew, there we go. All right. Note to self, you cannot run over sagebrush. That's like hitting a fucking tree.
Yeah, I fucking, when I was a kid, I think I was about 12 years old, my uncle had a couple Honda three-wheelers, and we had property out in Central Oregon, and he's like, "Oh yeah, go fucking rip it around, dude." And I'm like, "All right." And he's like, "You just make sure you fucking lean into the turns." And I'm like, I'm coming off a bicycle, dude. What do you mean by that? And he fucking lets me just go rip it out. This thing's fucking 4 times my size, and man, I go to turn around and I end up off the fucking side in the berm. It fucking shoots me up. The fucker lands on me. I'm upside down. The three-wheeler's upside down. I'm pinned, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, scared the fuck out of me. And I just kind of wiggled my fucking leg out, dude, and I was just shook. I was like, man, fuck that thing. I'm never getting on that thing. That thing's a fucking death trap. And
yeah. Well, it's like DDK, yeah. Honda three-wheelers, LOL, death traps.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my first experience off-road with zero experience. Yeah, and it was a long time before I got back on the dirt after that.
We had an old three-wheeler, but it was like the old Honda, like 125, the big old balloon tires, and
yeah,
that's the only one we really had.
Yeah,
they are, man. It's a different animal riding them things.
I want to say these were 250s, but they're probably 250s, I think. The Honda 250s.
Tell you what, the ones that are insane are the old fucking Banshees. God damn.
Yeah, I've never ridden
the old four-wheelers. Oh,
yeah,
fucking them are insane. They were awesome, though. Quick as shit.
Those are all 2 strokes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
350 twin.
Yeah. It'd be fun to fucking rip on.
Oh, they'll fucking rip, that's for sure. Well, you look at some of the new size of these quads. I mean, now you got the Raptor in a 660. I think actually in a 700 now. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to stick on 2 wheels.
Yeah.
I like to be able to get in tight places if I need to.
What's one of your favorite areas you enjoy riding if you're going to get out for, a good fucking day rip somewhere? Just kind of, one of those clear your head fucking two-wheel therapy runs.
On the road?
No, on road.
On road? So if I'm just going to do like a quick rip, like let's say I've got an hour and a half to go just rip real quick, I'll head out to like I'll head out towards Estacada, and then I'll cut up through Sandy, and I'll go along the Sandy River, and you end up in like Corbett, and then you come back down through the gorge, and it's just a quick little loop, but there's lots of it's a lot of twisties, and you know, you're out in nature, you're away from the city.
Right. So you live outside of Portland?
I live in Portland, yeah.
Oh, you're in Portland. Okay.
Yeah.
I know some of the area down there. I mean, I've done a few trips down there, whatnot, with, like, when my son was doing baseball, we were playing at Clackamas, so that was one of my first trips after I got my bike. I went down there for 5 days, or 3 or 4 days, one or the other, but, you know, went and did some went up Mount Hood by government camp, and plus, you know, like this summer we did the Monsters Over Mountains through, coming up over Mount Hood from the gorge, take the back highway up and around, and
oh yeah, Brad was
done some stuff. That was a blast.
Yeah, it sounded like a blast.
Yeah, there's some beautiful country down in that area.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's so many good rips. If I've got all day to fuck around, or most of the day to fuck around anyways, I like to go out towards the coast and hit Vernonia, and then that takes you on highway, I want to say it's 226 or 219 or something like that. And it's fucking super twisty. It's just just haul ass and bang the corners and scrape your shit up and get to it drops you in Astoria, and then we'll come back through Astoria, you know, get some lunch, and then
I know a highway. I've driven that in the car once when we were going down to Seaside from where the hell were we staying at? Down in Longview, Kelso. Went down across the Columbia down in Longview, and then we took that way to Seaside.
Yeah, Highway 30. Well, or you go.
No, so we went through Vernonia.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you went through the twisties then. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's for like ripping and like getting some good twisties, and the road's pretty decent. It's not like super choppy. There's one
King
quarter on it.
MC89 says 226.
226. Okay, yeah. 226. Yep. Yeah, there's one fucking corner that's an off-camber corner that I've seen people fucking fly off and end up on the side of the road and luckily not crash, kept their bike up. But that one fucking corner, it almost will get you every time if you're not expecting it.
The other one that I'd like to ride again down there that it's been, probably 20 years is head south out of Pendleton down 395. I did that years ago.
Yep.
Down along the river, you know, some nice little fucking twisties down, and just, it's like there's all kinds. If a guy won, you know, pack of 10 or whatever, there's, you know, last time I did it, I should say, there's a lot of dispersed camping areas on the river and the side of the old campgrounds, and it was just a cool-ass fucking ride. Yeah,
395 is fucking awesome. Another good one is, it's again, if I've got a long day that I can just be gone all day, you go through Central Oregon, a good way to go is like up 26, up Hood, and then you cut over to Maupin, and then from Maupin you end up on, I think it's 97, and you head towards Shaniko, which is the ghost town, and that there's a little side highway that goes from Shaniko, and it drops you into what's that town called that had all the that crazy cult. Shit. Dude, the town might as well be a ghost town. There's like 2 people that live there. Antelope is it. And then you if you hang east from Antelope, dude, that fucking road is sick. I think it ends up taking you to like John Day.
Oh, okay.
It's rad, dude. Central Oregon's got some, like, Central Eastern Oregon has so many sick roads, and they're pretty fucking nice too, like pretty smooth.
Yeah, I'd like to, you know, late spring and summer do some exploring down. It'd be fun. Do some, you know, check out more areas and whatnot, and because I mean that's the fun of it. I love hitting the back highways, you know, get off the interstate and hit those back 2 lanes, and plus, you know, you find some of these small towns and, you know, some of those mom and pop restaurants got the best fucking food you ever had. And
oh, dude, I love cafe restaurants. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fun. You find new areas and just fucking enjoy the road and point the bike in a direction and just go.
And meet the locals, and you know, now that I can fucking wheelie a little bit, I like to, you know, you guys want to see some fucking shit? Dude? I'll fuck around and be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, where'd this guy come from? That's always fun to put on a little show for the locals that aren't used to seeing, too many people out there anyways.
Yeah, got a point. But it's
Yeah.
fun. You get some of those places, you meet some old guy, seats your bike, and, I've had that once, and, look, oh, I used to ride, I had this, and fucking end up, hearing some cool stories, and, next thing you know, it's like, I've done it at the gas station. 20 minutes later, you're finally leaving the gas station, but, you made some cool memories and heard some awesome stories, and, some guy, he gets to remember shit maybe he forgot about until, saw the motorcycle, and
Yeah.
it's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It does eat up some fucking time, though, for sure, if you're on a mission.
Yeah. Now, I'm up in Northwest Washington. I live in Port Angeles, Washington, and
Yep.
Jason down in Portland.
Yeah, well, I'm a Portland kid, born and raised, 7th generation Oregonian.
Yeah, I'm born and raised up here in Port Angeles. Raised my kids here, and
Yeah.
there's some cool places. They'll get to live here at the base of the Olympic Mountains.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
pretty
you,
fucking
Corey, the long-standing joke that I'm in Seattle that'll never die. I'm not in Seattle, though, but,
I fucking hate Seattle.
Oh, fuck, me too.
I hate it up there. The sound is
Chris.
fucking gorgeous, though. I do love the sound. Again, I've never been inside the Olympics, but I've gone around it.
Oh, you get outside the Puget Sound, especially, there's some killer riding through. So many different loops you can do through the Cascade Mountains. Depending if you want to take all day, half day, you want to run 2 days. There's so many highways where, it's like we did this summer with Brad and everybody, where we zigzagged all the passes. But there's still more. And, if a guy wants to explore and find some cool shit, man, there's so many different loops you can take. It just all depends how much time do you want to ride.
Yeah, I left Gig Harbor from my buddy's house, or he's in is Port Townsend near Gig Harbor?
No, or you're thinking...
Or Bremerton. He's in Bremerton. That's where he is.
Okay, yeah.
This was when I had a ZX6R. I stayed at his place, and then I left like butt crack of dawn, and I was like, man, fuck, I don't want to just hit I-5 and go all the way home. I'm gonna go up to the top of Rainier. So I fucking ripped up to the top of Rainier, and I'm like, well, shit, man, I want to hit some more twisties. Like, fuck it, now I'm gonna go to the top of St. Helens. Went down, ended up at St. Helens, went to the top of St. Helens, and then I was like, well, shit, I still don't want to get on I-5. Fuck it, I'm gonna head east and then end up in the gorge, and then I'll just take 14 as soon as I hit 14 at the gorge, and then stay on the Washington side, and then I'll cross over at 205 back into the city. It was a long fucking day on a cross track, but man, I had a fucking blast.
14's a cool ride. It's a lot slower because there's more towns, but there's some cool shit on 14. It is a beautiful drive. Especially, I think, one of the most, touristy places is going to Stonehenge in Maryhill. That memorial is just fucking awesome what that county did for all of their veterans through, all your branches of the military service. And it's a cool place to visit, and you got a killer view of the gorge and the Columbia from up there, and, walk around, pay your respects to the American heroes that gave it all for us. And it's a cool stopping point.
Yeah, that's another ride I like to do if I've got a, half a day to burn up to Stonehenge, up 14, and then we'll usually just cross over and haul ass back on 84, depending on how much time and how many cops we pissed off on the way up 14 to get to Stonehenge.
Or head to Pendleton and go fly a fucking, up to Dead Man's Pass. Was it Cottonwood?
Is that in Pendleton? Is that 395 through there?
No, you keep heading east out of Pendleton, and
go on 84.
Yeah, and it zigzags up Cottonwood. I think it's what. God damn, what the hell is that called?
It takes you up to the Blue Mountains.
Yeah, up to Dead Man's Pass.
Yeah,
on top.
Sweet ride.
Oh, it's freaking! I got a cool video I did with my daughter. We were down there for son was playing. Well, both my boys playing baseball in Pendleton for a tournament when they were playing for the World Baseball Showcase. And I said, hey, Matt, you want to go for a fun ride? And because the highway zigzags. When you're going east, it's freaking awesome. You can drag floorboards and just rally the corners, and coming back down is boring because it's just mild cornering, but oh, it's cool as shit.
Man, another good ride is if you're still heading east before you hit LeGrand, you can hop off and you can go up the Rogue River.
Is that up to Enterprise? Was that Highway 3?
That's further east. I'm talking about before you get to LeGrand, you can cut back and head back towards Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And, you go along the Rogue River, and it's fucking sick. But it takes you like you gotta know how much fuel you have, because there isn't shit once you get into Central Oregon, like these podunk ass little towns. And I got fucking scared one day. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be fucking stranded out here. And luckily I pulled in. I don't remember what the name of the town was, but they had this just bullshit one pump. You know, it was regular, but they sold like octane booster inside. So I fucking bought some of that, and I was like, man, thank God this was here, because I would have been fucked.
Oh, that happened to me. My first trip down to Boise, Idaho, I'd, taken a route I'd never been. So I'm looking at Google. It's like, okay, I'm going to stop, fuel up in Pendleton. I should be able to make it, I can't remember the name of the town. It's about 20 miles before Ontario. Google says there's a Chevron right there. I'm like, cool. I'll pull in there and get gas.
Yeah.
And I'm coming down, gas light comes on. I'm like, okay, I got a mile.
Is it Huntington is what you're thinking of?
It might have been, but the fucking Chevron
Oregon?
was under construction. The fucker wasn't even open yet. So I ended up running out of gas on the freeway, and luckily, my wife and the boys were behind following, so they ran to Ontario to buy a gas can, come back and rescue me from the side of the highway. And I was like, fucking Google.
Fuckers. Can't trust those fuckers.
Yeah, and now it's a big truck stop, and now it is open if anybody wants to stop for gas before Ontario.
Yeah, that's fun ripping through there too. There's some good sweepers on the way from Baker to Ontario.
Yeah, there is. It was a cool ride. Even coming back, it's getting through some of them canyons and whatnot. It is freaking cool. It's fun.
Yeah, I like those high speed twisties are fun.
The other real fun one that's an absolute blast is coming out of Missoula down to Idaho, and you go over Lolo Pass through the Bitterroot Mountains.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've done that or not.
99 miles of twisties.
No shit.
There's a big sign. Twisty roads next 99 miles. And you're right along the bank of a river. I know once you get over Lolo, you're coming down. It's the South Fork of the Clearwater River. And I don't remember which river it is on the Montana side, but oh, dude, Lolo Pass is fucking epic.
Yeah, that sounds badass. I like it going up through the going up from Coeur d'Alene too, up through the Panhandle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's under a lot of construction, I feel like, every time I do it now, but if it's clear, fuck, dude, you can bang those things.
Yeah, that was another one I found out when I was doing my first 1K in 2000. That's when I did Lolo for the first time. I was going to fuel up in Coeur d'Alene. Fucking, semi-truck cut me off. I'm like, well, fuck it, all right, I'll hit the next gas station. That was the last exit for Coeur d'Alene. I'm like, shit, and going through some of these hills, the gas light comes on. I'm like, fuck me, and come down some little pass, see the sign, Lake Ross General Store, and it showed a gas pump. Pull in there, and they got 2 pumps.
Yeah,
I think would I take like 4.86 gallons in a 5-gallon tank.
Just fucking running on fumes.
Like, thank God. And that's one of those things. Ran up to this old dude. He saw the bike. Oh yeah, I used to have a Goldwing. Love touring. And, he's telling me some stories of places to ride, and it was cool. But it's like, fuck. It's one of those places always stuck in my head. Hey, if I need gas and I miss it, I know there's gas in this little podunk station. Middle of nowhere.
I've learned to top off too, even if I don't need to. Like if I'm riding with dudes on like Dynas or Sportsters or whatever, like they always have to fill up. So I always fill up no matter what. Now I'm just like, yeah, do I have a half tank? Sure, but let's top off anyways, even if I don't need it, because it's better to have it than not. You know what I mean?
Well, I got one of those 1.5 liter gas reserve bottles. It's Lowbrow Customs, and it has a little case, so it straps on. I just strap it on my tour pack. If I have my other tour pack bag on it, it's just a cheap sense of, security, middle of nowhere, whether it's you run out or somebody else. And my son got one. I got Hayden one, so he has one on his V-Star. Which is crazy. It's a beautiful V-Star, the 1300 touring model, but they didn't put a gas gauge on it. I'm like, it's a touring bike, but you guys didn't put a gas gauge? It's like, that's fucked. we've kind of learned his range, whatnot, because not getting credit. He, went through the stuff, got all of his, permit and everything, goes to get his endorsement. He'd only been riding on the road for a month when he rode to South Dakota with me.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, that was an awesome 8 days, but,
You
usually he could go
learn
around
today.
150 to, 180 miles. His gas light would come on. Well, we hit some stuff over there. We had, your little higher elevation. We had a major headwind, and one of the trips we made it like 120 miles, and he gets on the old Lex and he's like, "Hey Dad, my gas light's already on." I'm like, fuck, serious? Jesus. All right, cool. Let's find a gas station. No worries.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a few headwinds that just killed his mileage, but
yeah.
And then it was after that trip was able to got the fuel bottles, and it's just a nice sense of, security in a way.
Yeah.
That liter and a half could be the difference from you sitting there forever or, getting to a fuel station somewhere. Like I said, helping out somebody else that's in a pinch on the side of the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fuck. Speaking of fucking wind, I don't know. Did Brad ever tell you that story of us coming back from Four Corners, hitting 60 mile an hour crosswinds in the dark?
Jesus!
Outside of Salt Lake. Oh man, that was fucking terrifying.
Or like we did on the Monsters Over Mountains ride when they all skipped the fuel stop right at our 1K. That's, hey, where we're staying at Arlington, there's a gas station. We'll get, we'll all just fuel up there. Well, me and Milkweed, our fuel lights came on, so we got gas like 20 miles before there, and some truck stops. Like, I'd hit my 1,000. Like, I'm getting fuel now.
Yeah.
And so they all pull into Arlington where we're going to, we're doing our little fucking podunk fucking hood camping in the corner of a parking lot. But the gas station, they turned the pumps off.
Oh,
so they went to get gas. They couldn't get fuel.
Yeah.
But they got the receipt, which they needed. And so we had to continue down to, I can't remember what the town was, Rufus. And Brad is like right behind Milkweed, literally drafting him at about 40 miles an hour down the freeway. And Brad ran out of gas pulling into the gas station. And he'd use, Frank Orlando keeps a 1-gallon gas can in his saddlebag, because Saddleman sells one that's cut like your saddlebag, a reserve can.
Oh, sick.
And so he took half of Frank's, and they took off, and I'm following Frank, and Frank got like 3 miles from Rufus, and he ran out of gas, so he dumped in the other half-gallon, and I mean, everybody was running on fumes except me and Milkweed, because we'd fueled up. Yeah, everybody else said, fuck it.
You always gotta fucking fill up, man, even if you don't need to. If you're stopping, fucking fill that fucker up.
Yep.
We, my buddy Sam and Shaq, we did a 1K on our way down to meet up with the Grip Street boys for their stunt ride in Vegas. Was this like last month or something? I think it was last month. Whenever it was. Anyways, so we were trying to beat the speed record. And we would have had it, no fucking problem, had we not ran into issues, but that's kind of the whole thing, right? Like, you never know what issues you're going to run into. We did it in 12 hours and 10 minutes.
Jesus.
And the record at the time, and it might be beat now, but the record at the time was, I think it was 11:47 or something like that, which is fucking scooting. Like, you're moving. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude, we can beat it. I know we can beat it, dude. And we end up in 2 construction zones that ate up at least 45 minutes. We got pulled over just being idiots. Like, because, when you're doing a speed run, dude, you can't fucking slow down. It doesn't, if it says 25 miles an hour through town, you have to fucking bomb through it. And hopefully you don't get fucked with. And we pass all these fools rolling through this little town right in front of the cops, and they just looked at us and threw their hands up like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And we did pull over, which, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But we did this time, and the officer was cool as fuck. He's laughing. I was like, dude, really? Like, you guys saw us? We're like, yeah, we're fucking on a run right now. And he's like, all right, fucking get the fuck out of here. Just, slow the fuck down. We're like, oh yeah, okay, bud. And but man, Sam, he was on his Dyna, and Shaq and I are on baggers, and man, we'd pull into a gas. I think it happened twice on the run. Like, we pull up and his bike's just like spitting and sputtering, just literally on fumes, and then his bike would like have to sit there and cycle the fuel a little bit to get started again once he filled up. It was fucking funny, dude. It was a wild fucking ride. I was beat by the time we were done.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
I know I was beat when we did ours. We did, that fucking 1,600 miles in 35 and a half hours. But that
Yeah.
1K, like, same thing. We did ours. We got caught in some chip and seal, the North Cascades, 46 miles of fresh chip and seal. So our 1K took us 20 and a half hours to get it.
Fuck, dude. That's too
I mean,
long
it was
on the road.
one guy, Steve, he'd never done one. And we'd got to, because we did over North Cascades, back over Stevens, Snoqualmie, hit Canyon Road, Ellensburg, up over Chinook Pass, over Cayuse Pass, White's Pass, back to Natchez. And then from Natchez, because we had to change some stuff up, it's like, dude, we're still like 200 miles short. So we ran out to Ritzville.
Oh,
And
yeah.
on the way to Ritzville, coming down into Ellensburg, of course, it's the wind tunnel of the fucking world.
Yeah.
My buddy Steve, he's like, and he told me going in, he goes, man, I've never done this. He goes, if I get too tired, I'm just going to, cancel it. I'll do my own stuff, but you guys keep going. Well, he was getting that point where he was so tired when a crosswind hit him, blew him across the lane, and all of a sudden woke him the fuck up on his bike. He's like, Jesus. And we made it to Ritzville, and he started telling me a story. He's like, dude, I was ready to give up. He goes, that crosswind hit me, blew me across the lane. He's like, I'm wide awake then.
Yeah, no shit, dude. It sucks riding when you're tired, too.
Especially in the pitch black. You get over the Ellensburg, Eastern Washington, there's no lights on the highway. I mean, there's times we're going down, well, even out of Ritzville down 395, we're 5 bikes wide, and everybody's got the high beams on, and you can light up. You come to a car, back in lane, get around it, back to 5 wide down the freeway, and, well, I mean, it's, 2 lanes north and south, but, we're running 5 wide, and everybody's got the high beams on so you can see, and, still a couple guys in the back because there were 7 of us, but, that some people don't like, you shouldn't run suicide, but, at night, dude, you want to light you can just so you can see.
Yeah, you gotta light the fucking road up. Dude, we did,
Yep.
we were with Vic and Ivy. This was actually on the way to Four Corners. Brad was with me. And Ivy's fucking headlight went out. And we're fucking going through, fuck, man. I don't know what highway it is, but it's like, I can't even think of where it's at, like, in my head right now, but it's fucking twisties. It's pitch black out. So, like, we're trying to, like, light the fucking road so she could see. It was fucking sketchy, but, we made it through and made it to the fucking hotel, and, it is what it is. You gotta you gotta adapt and overcome when shit happens,
Exactly. And then, and Ryan had made up a point. It was before we are doing the Mile Monster, because that guy's like a professional endurance rider that started Mile Monsters. That dude pounds miles like nobody's business.
Right.
He's like, tell you what, he goes, tell everybody, don't be afraid to use your high beams. He goes, people, guys in front, well, it'll hit my mirrors. He's like, then fucking adjust your mirrors, because you don't need mirrors at night. He goes, I don't care if guys are behind me. He's like, I want their high beams on. He goes, it helps me see up there. And he goes, fix your mirrors. He goes, but if you guys are, in situations where you got to run staggered or whatnot, he goes, dude, just adjust your mirrors, tell everybody turn their high beams on and just go. He goes, because it makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fucking flip those mirrors down. You don't need those fuckers at night.
Nope.
Yeah, it's I ran for a long time with one headlight on the road glide, and it sucked. And I can't see for shit at night anyways. So, like, if I don't have, like, all the light, I don't know why I haven't, like, stepped up into, like, the, what are those, I can't, I'm having a fucking total brain fart right now. Those bright ass
the LEDs and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm still running the stock headlight.
I'll tell you what, the difference when I went from the stock to having that custom dynamics, Jesus, my high beam on the stock one compared to the low beam on these is the low beam's probably 5 times as bright as what my high beam was. Because my original headlights were shit. They were horrible. And I mean, they say these low beams will shine a beam 1,500 feet.
No shit.
They're fucking impressive as shit.
Yeah, I need to step up. I mean, the stock on the 19 headlights, it's all right, but for my vision, dude, I need way more fucking light.
Yeah, it's like, friend Jason Setzer, I think he's got a 19 or 20, and he put a set of Denali's, off the, come off his marker lights, and Jesus Christ, those things are bright as shit, but they're expensive as hell. But, man, you want to light up the night at nighttime, those things are fucking amazing. He hooked his into the high beams, so when he turns on his high beams, those Denali's come on too, and fuck, they're bright.
Yeah, I think that's typically my main thing why I don't have like the cool shit on my bike is because the shit's expensive.
So Springer Mike wants. Do you want to know a very challenging, twisty road out of Sisters, Oregon to 42 Sousa Lava Falls? When you come out the road and it goes, it's not
It's not
20.
one goes and end up in Eugene. Oh yeah, what fucking highway is that? I haven't done that highway, but I know exactly what highway he's talking about. You go up over the pass, and then instead of staying on 20, you cut left to head towards Eugene.
242, he says.
It looks fucking twisty as fuck, and I still haven't done it. It looks fun, though.
Might have to come check that out next summer.
Yeah, it looks fun.
I know I'm hoping to get down to Brad's at some point because he's got a set of forks for my bike that we've been trying to figure out when to put on for like 2 or 3 months, but we just can't get our schedules accordingly, and now we're into the shit weather season. It's like, fuck.
He's got a lot of good rides right out of his backyard, too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some awesome riding up there in
Literally
Northwest.
right out of his backyard.
Yeah, shop's pretty cool. I remember when I went down and surprised him with. Have you seen the coffee table they did for him that's in the shop?
Yeah. Fucking badass.
You know, I mean, he's been such an awesome guy to get to know and be friends. And then, you know, early on wanted to come on board and help support, you know what I'm doing here at the V-Twin Life. So I want to do something, say thank you. So I had the Crash Inc. emblems made and put them under the table and all the clear over the top of it. And, you know, just
fucking rad.
You support those that support you, and say, hey, thank you for everything. And it's been an amazing friendship, man. Brad's cool as shit, and it's awesome to be, the support you get from the community that we're all part of. I mean, everybody is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think for the most part, everyone that I've met's pretty fucking rad. There's some fucking dumb motherfuckers, just like any industry, right?
Got a point.
Not gonna name names, but the majority of the people I met have been nothing but fucking rad people.
Yeah.
Which is why, another reason I keep grinding and keep pushing and keep staying in this community, because I fucking love it, dude. I really feel like there's no other community like it.
I think you got a hell of a point.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's just not, and for people that don't ride and aren't in the motorcycle community, I can't really explain it, but once you're on a fucking bike, you figure it out pretty quick and understand what I mean.
No, I think you're 100% correct. And I agree. I mean, it's awesome, so many people, the support you get, just sometimes, the little pick-me-up conversation or messages, or, traveling out somewhere and meeting other people that, you might know over social media, but you never met in person, and go hang out with them, and, you build even friendships. Like, you got in the side chat, Wrench Bender Nick and Springer Mike, that when we went over to South Dakota, they're from Oregon but moved to Wyoming, and spent the weekend with us over there and showing us around. And
yeah,
Setzer Pendus rode up from Texas. We hung out with him for 4 days, and he'd been great friends. And there's so many people, like you're saying, that are just freaking awesome. I mean, yeah. But you got some, like anything, you said there's always some people that are just different or whatnot you're just not going to click with, but 99.9% of everybody is just, it's an awesome fucking circle of people to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 110%. Where do
you
see
this goes to show with your stuff, Oh, go ahead.
Where's the side chat at on here?
You might not be able to see it all with your phone sideways.
Yeah, you probably see it all on your phone or on your.
Yeah, I got it on the laptop.
Gotcha.
But it's like you're saying, the community. I mean, from your Ride Faster Pussy logo, now you're getting to doing the hard parts, crash bars, and sprockets. Now you're doing your derby covers and expanding more just because of the support from the community, and you continue to grow.
Yeah, it's fucking rad, dude. Like, I'm blown away. I'm blown away by it. Like, I'm just like, how the fuck? How did this happen? You know what I mean? How do I have such rad people that support me, and from customers to friends, it's I don't know, it blows my mind. It's a good feeling to be able to create something that people support, and that people are getting whatever satisfaction from, supporting it and wearing it. And, I don't know. It's fucking rad.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm not in deep as with all the like what you got going on with both your brands and businesses and whatnot, but I can totally relate just from wanting to hear stories and meet people through this podcast. Now I'm over 2 years of doing it, and I know it probably sounds like a broken record, but the biggest thing that's so honoring is the friendship I made with every person that I've had on.
Yeah.
I've made a friendship with them. Met on Instagram still. Phone calls, texts, and that's the biggest reward. It's that networking and the friendships that you build, and man, it's just awesome. And I just 81 episodes in, or like we like to say, 81 mileposts, and I'm booked for the next 5 weeks, and it's crazy that just an idea for me, just wanting to talk to other people within the community and hear their stories and of how they got into riding and motorcycles, and it just keeps going and going, and it's so freaking cool, and I enjoy this so much. And thanks for all you guys coming in, the side chat, and everybody that tunes in, and all the comments and whatnot. I thank all you guys. It's awesome, everybody.
Yeah, I'm fucking stoked to be a part of it finally, dude. And I think it's rad what you're doing. It's cool. I don't know. It's just cool to talk about what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? I've always been kind of
So actually, the process one link, if you go to Instagram process at Ridefaterpuss.y, and you can check out and you can find his links from there on Instagram.
Yep. I don't know what the fuck was I saying.
So it was awesome, something, and then you lost your train of thought just because I interrupted it. And
it's been happening a lot today. I had a long day yesterday foraging for mushrooms. Went down to the coast, and I fucking haven't hiked that much in a long time. It's hard to walk today.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, good. I'm not complaining because it was fucking awesome. Especially seeing deer up close and all that kind of shit, and just being in the middle of nowhere, like coming across wildlife. And my buddy Sam that
Thanks,
I went
Mike.
with is just a fucking funny motherfucker, and we grew up in the same neighborhood, and we weren't friends when we were kids, because he was kind of friends. He was homies with all the people that like all my homies were like enemies with. And it's kind of funny that like how close we become, just being a couple kids from Southeast Portland, and knowing all the same, dealing with the same bullshit. And yeah, I don't know, it's funny. We click really well, but we have a lot of fun fucking around and making videos and shit like that. Him and I are
That's what it is. Having fun, even getting out. I mean, we do when it comes to hiking. We live in a beautiful area of the fucking country that has some amazing fucking place to go out and check out if you get off the asphalt and head down the dirt path.
Yeah, and get away from phone service and not be on Instagram all day.
Yeah, have a reset.
I mean? Yeah,
the wife reset. And we had that a couple weeks ago. We went camping out in Fort Warden, an old military base. It's now a campground. It was a World War II base, and it's crazy. It's like the phones had service, but you didn't get no internet. It's like, well, fuck it. We basically had, a weekend kind of to reset. Didn't have any fucking service. Like, fuck it. It was kind of nice in a way.
Reset.
I mean, you could walk about a quarter mile and you could get some service for a minute. Like, I will admit, we did walk down there for about a quarter mile walk so I can get service to check out the Mariners game that was on, so I can stream it on my phone because it was going into extra innings and I couldn't find it on the radio in the motorhome. But
yeah,
you could walk a little ways to get some, but then go back to camp and just actually have a conversation with two people and not stare at phones.
Yeah, I get caught up staring at the phone too much, just because having to stay active on social media and create content and do shit for the brand and all that stuff. Like, it's all part of the business, right? And like I said, like, I have a hard time balancing. And when I get focused on something, I'm like all the fuck in, and I kind of just put blinders on everything else. I'm like, nope, this is what I'm doing right now. And it works. It works out sometimes. Not all the time.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been grinding my whole life, and I feel like it's that last 23 years of fucking grinding, or 30 years of grinding, is like, it's starting to finally pay off. You know what I mean? Like, I finally figured something out that is working, right?
Well, like I say, you guys got to put in the work for the success. I mean, it just doesn't come overnight. And
Yeah.
you've been grinding at it for a while, and and things are happening now for you, which is absolutely fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I think one problem with social media is it shows instant gratification. You know what I mean? It doesn't show all the fucking heartache and the fucking grind and the late nights and the lack of sleep and all the other bullshit that you have to deal with to create something, right? And it's fucking time consuming. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's not always hard. If you love something, sometimes it doesn't really feel hard, right? You're having fun doing it, but it's time consuming, dude. It's constant fucking grind. You don't just blow up overnight, and have something that's fucking rad or successful. Like, you got to put the time in, and that's what people don't see. I try telling people that, creating a brand, it's not hard. You just got to believe in it, and you got to put the fucking time into it.
You got to put the legwork in. Yeah.
And don't
very
and
true.
don't create it, man. Don't create it just because you want money. Like, just create something that's fun, that you're fucking dig. You know what I mean? Then it won't feel like such a pain in the ass when you're fucking staying up all night, busting out orders or shit like that. Like, you've created something that you really fucking love.
Create something you believe in.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I feel like people are just like, nah, fuck that. I just want to make money. I'm like, well, how the fuck are you going to make money if you don't believe in it, bro? Like, you could just be a good salesman, I guess. Like, I mean, if you're a good salesman, you can sell anything, right? I'm a fucking horrible salesman. I got to actually believe in something for me to fucking sell it.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to use it myself, I'm not going to fucking sell it on anyone. You know what I mean?
Very true point.
But anyone can fucking do it. Shit.
Yeah. You just got to believe in yourself. And, it's exactly what you said. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort and stand behind it and believe what you're doing and keep pushing and grinding, and good things will happen.
Yeah. And, you got to have fucking income at the same time. So don't quit your fucking day job before you.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Yeah, your live stream was a little rough last night. Military bikers in the house.
What up?
So how can we get a t-shirt? You'd love to have one. We can go check out Ridefaterpuss.y, which is puss.y on Instagram. You can check out his links. He's got hats, shirts, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and yeah, get some of that Northwest brand.
Yeah, Ridefaterpuss.y.
There you go, right there.
Ridefaterpuss.y and take you right to everything. I appreciate your support. www.ridefaterpuss.com.
We'll do this real quick. .com. Oh wait.
See,
I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. Bam! Right there.
If you want to have some fun, Google Ride Faster Pussy, and then see what pops up. I think I've finally taken over the shit that used to pop up when you Google that. I think my brand has finally reached this small level of taking over the shit that would typically pop up when you Google Ride Faster Pussy.
Which means you've elevated yourself. You put in the work. You're getting top at the Google searches.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
Adam says you need to find Shroomies faster.
Fuck, dude. Hey, it's not easy, bro. Go foraging. It's a grind, dude. You see, just like anything in life, man, you got to put the time in. Foraging and finding mushrooms is a fucking lot of work.
I'll tell you what, you can keep all that fungus, man. Fuck mushrooms. No, thank you.
I love mushrooms.
I'm not a fungus kind of guy.
I fucking love them. I love them. And just to be clear, it was foraging for edible mushrooms. I mean, I guess you can eat a lot of different edible mushrooms that aren't typically food. But Man, I was kind of bummed, dude. It was my fault for not communicating to my kids, but we found some. We went foraging for um, the mushroom is
Liberty caps?
no, not those, not those. Porcinis, and we actually went for some chanterelles also, but porcinis, they're fucking big ass mushrooms, and I brought them home and asked my buddy, like, how do I store these? Because I'm not going to cook them up right now. He's right about that. Yeah, I was terrified of the fun mushrooms.
Yeah.
But my kid, I fucking put them outside in a bag to not get wet. My kids moved them right next to the fucking railing where it rained all night, and they got all fucked up. And I was like, bro, do you fucking know how fucking long it took me to find those fucking few mushrooms, you fuckers? But I didn't communicate with them how important it was to keep them out of the rain, so it's my fault that I was bummed. Put in a lot of work to get those.
Yeah. So, well, shit, man. Well, fuck, thanks for coming on and hanging out tonight, dude. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I dig it, man.
I mean, just, it got us in the shit, but, it's just fun when you can sit down there, you got that common thread of motorcycles, and just shoot the shit, talk roads, places, travels, and it's fun when, like yourself, where we're kind of, same region of the country, so can understand and relate areas you're talking about, because, I've done some riding through Oregon, so I know some of the places, and it's
Right.
a lot of fun when you talk to somebody, and exactly kind of the areas they're talking about, because you can relate because you've been to some of them, and that kind of shit makes it fun, too.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like, fucking share the roads, man. Where are the good roads at? Let's fucking rip them up,
Hell yeah, I got to come up this way, or I'll head down that way, too. Do a little bit of both.
Yeah. I
Get
had a
Brad
good
come
time,
back up here and do some barbecuing and food and shit and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm fucking down, dude. I love the sound again. I'd like to find some time to go into the Olympics, though, like into the actual park and do some hiking around and shit.
Oh, there's a ton of, especially, there's a whole shit ton of trails on the Upper Peninsula. You can come in down, down the canal by Lake Cushman, but there's a ton of them that come out of from Hurricane Ridge up here out of Port Angeles. A shit ton of trail networks up here with some really cool places. Mount Angeles, the Suncrest Trail. You got Obstruction Point that's got a ton of trails that come off that up into the park. But yeah, there's a shit ton of trails and some awesome fucking shit to be seen in the Olympics.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that shit out. You spend much time down in California?
No.
Man, those fucking boys down there, fuck. I tried keeping up with those, my buddy James, right outside of Mulholland. And
I know where Mulholland is from reading books and whatnot and shit, but
fuck, dude, those boys. I'm not the fastest person, but I'm definitely not a slow person, and those motherfuckers make me feel slow as fuck. I'm also on a stock ass bike, with stock suspension. I'm fucking dragging everything. We're trying to keep up with them, but it was like trying to keep up with them. I'm like, man, where the fuck did they go, dude? Like, I'm pushing myself. Like, I can't go any fucking faster. That was it's fun. Those are some fucking twisty ass roads up through there outside of Malibu. Fun to fucking ride for sure.
yeah, Ray's told me about some of the places. Old Ray Robledo.
Yep.
Yeah, he's down there. Yeah, he's told me about a lot of cool places down there. And same with Robin the Lady Biker was on here. She did live down in that area, and she's been on here twice. And the first episode was way in the beginning when it was just doing audio, and which is a fun part. You get some of these people from outside of your area, and that sit there and talk. You can build that little list of places you want to go visit and ride, and build that bucket list. And it's like shit. After so many posts, I've heard about so many cool places and within our own borders, and you see all these people that I want to go ride England. I want to the UK, Scotland, Australia, New Zealand. It's like, dude, you have any idea how many areas within our own borders that so many people have no idea about? Because you got to get off the main interstates.
Yeah, I'd love to do all of that, but there's so much of the United States I haven't seen on a bike.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'd love to
absolutely true.
I'd love to go over to the east and check out the Tail of the Dragon and all that kind of stuff.
I tell you what, if you like Tail of the Dragon, you need to go up to Deadwood and do Iron Mountain Road. It's like
is Iron Mountain the what? Is that the one that cuts off when you're on your way to Rushmore?
it's close to it. What is it here? Hold on. Because Springer Mike to get me the 10, but no, it's 17 miles, 314 curves, 14 switchbacks, 3 pigtails, 3 tunnels, 2 splits, and 4 presidents. I mean, there's some of those pigtails, dude. It's a 10-mile-an-hour corner as you're going over these wooden bridges. You just pigtail up the mountain farther, and it's like the Tail of the Dragon for the West Coast is fucking epic.
I went through there when I went to Sturgis. I went up to Rushmore, but I think that little rip is like an offshoot on the way to Rushmore from Sturgis, or going through.
Yeah, it's up by Needles, because you come out of that, then you come right down and do the Needles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I did hit that when I was there.
It's pretty fucking. I mean, you'd know it if you did. It's a fucking epic fucking ride. I mean, you want to talk twisties and just some amazing shit. It was cool as hell.
Yeah, that sounds fucking rad. I like challenging. Yeah. I like challenging roads. I like pushing myself to see, like, well, what can I do? You know, and hit it a couple times, go up and down a couple times. And, all right,
Corey, it's called Iron Mountain Road outside of Deadwood.
Iron Mountain Road. Okay, I'll check that out next time I'm out that way.
Yeah, it's fucking epic shit.
Yeah, I like going up and down shit and trying to hit the same thing more than once in the same day and say, all right, well, how can I fucking get up this a little bit faster? How can I do this a little bit better, you know?
Well, some of that one, I mean, it's a small road, so you got other traffic to contend with, but fuck, it was cool as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I find myself, sometimes I got to slow down and take in the view.
So you got King MC89 wants to know if you're going to hit up Born Free next year.
I would love to. I was supposed to actually go down to Born Free, Texas. That happened, 2 weeks ago? I think it was. And, life came up, couldn't make it, so had to ditch out on it. But I'd like to come down to Born Free in Cali, come see all my friends and stuff down there.
So Iron Mountain Road is Highway 16A, just before you head up towards Mount Rushmore. You can head off and head up Iron Mountain Road.
Yeah, that was the offshoot that I didn't hit. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'd like to fucking... I've got an FXR I'm building. It's also out at Brad's place taking up floor space. But it's that ADD that kicks in, dude. I'm great at tearing shit apart. I'm not so great about putting it back together in a timely manner.
I understand that.
And then you get to a point where you're like, well, fuck, dude. I've got this bike halfway torn down. Maybe I should just tear it all the way down and, change the color of the frame or some shit, you know what I mean? Take it to that next level. That's what I'm working on now.
So let's see. King MC89, he goes, he's been wanting to hit up Born Free for a while. I'm not sure if he's saying he's in Lebanon.
Yep, Lebanon down south. Get down there closer to Brad. Yeah,
sweet.
If I head down there, dude, I'm fucking anyone can fucking roll as long as you give me my space when we're riding.
Right on. Well, shit, buddy, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out, dude. This has been a lot of fun, man. Yep, it's always good, getting to meet some of these people you interact with on the old social media, but in a way it's face to face, but I guess not face to face, but we just do it over a computer screen and fucking have fun, shoot the shit.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah, this has been a fucking good time. I've enjoyed it, man. So, hey, let everybody know where they can find you, what you got going on.
If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just Ridefaterpuss.y, Puss.y, because Instagram doesn't let you say pussy. And then I've got the hard parts page, which is RFP hard parts. And then if you want to check out the website, it's www.ridefaterpuss.y.com. Pretty straightforward.
And get yourself some of that great fucking merch.
Yeah, or don't. But if you do, it's a lot cooler if you do.
That's right, because you
and
can
I
sport that cool shit. So, hey guys, man, thanks so much for tuning in to another Milepost of the V-Twin Life. Next Sunday, we got Dustin Thacker of the 5 Dirty Bikers coming on to hang out and hear his story and whatnot and what's going on. But no, Jason, man, thanks for coming on tonight, dude. This has been a lot of fun. I had a blast, and man, we'll have to do it again here in the near future.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me on, Denver.
Fuck yeah. Hey, everybody, you know what? You guys ride safe, have fun, enjoy the open road, and we'll catch you next week. Latest.